If you want to build a superior service culture that gives you a competitive advantage in what Boston Consulting Group has told you is unclaimed territory, then it helps to have a plan. Even way back then, they were working with a plan. So they knew about where the moon was going to be and the sun and the solstice and the equinox. They knew about the harmonics, so that it would resonate when the human beings came in. I'm going to use the same model to show you the plan. And there are three key components. The first one, you. Without the leadership knowing where it's going and what its job is and how to move, how to guide, nothing's going to happen. At the base is this thing called actionable service education. I'll explain to you that today. And then in the middle is something very interesting. I call it these building blocks. And in fact, the Adecco Group is already doing the building blocks, but I'll show you how you can line them up so that you get more power from what it is that you're doing. Let's start with this thing at the base. What is the difference between education and training? Why didn't I say train the people? I'm using the word education instead. What is the difference between education and training? Please, turn to your partner. You have 30 seconds. What's your point of view? You train somebody what to do in a certain situation. You educate someone how to think so they can figure out for themselves what to do in a certain situation. Now, training is very important. I have a colleague, a friend of mine, who's a former U.S. Marine. He's actually been in combat. And he said, Ron, I got to tell you, when the bullets are flying, you stop thinking. And your body takes over, and it does what it was trained to do. So in certain situations, training is essential, right? Thank goodness these guys are trained. In fact, we put them in a simulator, don't we? And then we throw at them all kinds of tough situations so that if it ever happens, they would know what to do, which is why nobody died. Right? The minute the geese came and hit those engines and all the power went out, if you go to the internet and you listen to the recording, you will actually hear the pilot saying, my plane. Co-pilot says, your plane. Pilot starts to bring it down. What's the co-pilot doing? He's going straight for the checklist to start to read off so they could do what they were trained to do in the simulator. When this guy goes in, I don't want him to think out of the box. But at work, we have a different situation. In the work world today, we need people to be coming up with new and better ideas on their own and make good decisions without escalating everything to you. So we need to bring people together and give them an opportunity to think about fundamental principles, in this case of service.